Hey there, folks. I just played more copyrighted music than I think anyone has ever tried to get away with in the history of the internet.
You're going to jail.
I'm probably going to jail, or they're just going to take this down. So we'll see what happens when I try to post a recording of it. So, hey, y'all. Welcome to Chatham Life and Style's Best of Triangle Arts 2019. Please be sure to like us on Facebook where you are and comment on the show. You may jeer, you may heckle, except Al Riggs may not jeer or heckle, nor may anyone else on my staff is permitted to jeer or heckle. So here's what we're here to do. All right, so that's me. Just so you all know who's talking, I'm Dustin K. Britt. I'm the managing editor, and I do the writing of the arts business along with some other folk. So
shiny picture.
It's a shiny picture, and that is a handsome lad. There is some makeup on that boy. There is some makeup on that boy. We're not going to talk about that. So in your free time, if you have a minute here or there, from wherever, you can like and follow us on Facebook at Chatham Life and Style. You can follow and like and love us on Instagram at Chatham Life and Style. However, Twitter, for some reason, Chatham Life and Style was already taken. So we're Chatham Style on Twitter because we may not have lives, but we certainly have style. All right, so here's what we're here to do tonight. All right, so this is the fourth year that I've invaded your social media to tell you all how brilliant you are. After 3 years of a Brit Picks list, I'm now introducing a new incarnation, which is called Chatham's Best of the Year. So next February, Chatham Life and Style as a website will be 2 years old. The reason I'm not calling it Brit Picks anymore is now it's not just me by myself. I'm proud to have a very diverse group of writers on the team. We've had lots of conversations about this list, and the voices of newcomers to both the area and to the practice of writing like this has yielded some unexpected results and some new categories. Diversity is very important to Chatham. The closest thing we have on staff to a straight white male is 7 years old, so he's kind of TBA. The reason for this diversity is it provides you with reporting and critique of events and performances from lots of perspectives. Women, queer people, people of color are all represented on our staff exclusively. Since we have several active performers and artists on our staff, we take special care not to ask our writers to cover content that they would have been involved in, or even if I myself am involved in. My conflict of interest radar is very sensitive, and no one's ever going to review a production they've worked on, whether an actor, a board member, a painter, or an usher. Even auditioning for a show removes one of our authors from the assignment pool for that production. So we've expanded our coverage this year to include lots of new exciting things. We've been doing previews of the Royal Opera House and the Royal Ballet. We're covering productions by summer theater camps, museum events, local farmers, restaurants, film festivals, music festivals, more out-of-town coverage. We went to the National Black Theater Festival and recently went to the Washington National Opera at the Kennedy Center to bring a couple of reviews from there. So as we do each year, we have 2 special recognition awards for different local artists. Those accomplishments may vary, and those awards will vary and are ever-changing. Later in the show, we'll be recognizing an individual for their outstanding contribution to the local arts, as well as one group's commitment to social justice through the arts. Aside from that, we're here to recognize outstanding performances, productions, and staging in Chatham County and the surrounding areas. I have a number of guests with me tonight to present these lists, and I would like to start with our mom and son writing team, Rachel and Emery Caiston. Hold on, we're having issues. Just a moment. All right, hold up, I'm having a technical moment.
Hi, this is Rachel Caston.
And Emery Caston. We do Mom and Son reviews and recaps.
Yes, that's true. We do Mom and Son reviews and recaps for Chatham Life and Style. We mostly do theater and other family-friendly performing arts events, but we also do festivals and other community events around town.
I am in second grade. I also like to read books. I go to a special dance class, and I want to be an author when I grow up.
Thank you, Emery. I am a big lover and supporter of the arts. I am vice chair of the Women's Theater Festival, and I also work for NC State as my day job. Dustin approached me about writing reviews a little over a year ago, and I realized that as much as I'm involved in the arts, Emery always asks what I do, and it's hard to explain. So I suggested, what if we did a mom and son thing? And a year later, we're here. It's going great. I love it. What do you think, Emery?
It's pretty good so far.
Yeah, pretty good so far.
Awesome.
We're so excited to get to present 3 awards tonight. 2 of them are brand new awards recognizing our outstanding youth. So the first award is
the Rising Star Award.
And the Rising Star recognizes outstanding performances by young people in theater education programs. So our first honoree is Audrey Jones.
Decision Height, St. Mary's School.
Decision Height marks Michelle Marie Wells's directing debut at St. Mary's School, and as Emery and I saw in multiple productions at Sonorous Road this year, Wells has really mastered bringing out top-notch performances from young actors. Next, we have Chloe Calhoun.
Bring It On, North Carolina Theater Conservatory.
Here's a quote from our review. Calhoun is superb. Her character experiences panic attacks, and Calhoun manages to physically carry this tension in her body. Her voice is lovely, and she pulls off humor as easily as she does heartbreak. Just wait until you see her slow motion twerk in a leprechaun mascot costume. And honestly, I feel badly for anyone who missed that. Then we have Ella Snap.
Frozen Jr., Sonorous Road Musical Theater Workshop.
Ella also made a lovely Wendy in Sonorous's Peter Pan Jr. earlier this year. Then Embry Duffy.
Decision Height, St. Mary's School.
And this won't be the last time we see Decision Height. Fiona Tygreen.
Dorothy Meets Alice, Pittsburgh Youth Theater.
Tygreen is just 9 years old. She is the youngest performer to be honored this year in any category. Lily Grace Roberts, Peter Pan, I took Emery's job. Lily Grace Roberts.
Peter Pan Jr., Sonorous Road Musical Theater Workshop.
Roberts is a very strong comedic performer. She wasn't afraid to go full camp with her turn as Captain Hook. Sylvie Yates, stage manager.
Decision Heights, St. Mary's School.
This is the first time we have ever given an award like this to a non-actor. Valerie Pisat.
Raleigh Later Theater's Teens on Stage.
Quoting from the review, with this honest performance, the rising high school senior jumps out of the kiddie pool and dives directly into the deep end, giving one of the Triangle's most impressive performances so far this year. Whitley Lynn.
Bring It On, North Carolina Theater Conservatory.
Lynn showed serious star power even in a relatively small role in this year's Bring It On. So 9 out of 10 of our honorees in this category are actually women. Our lone male is William Calland.
The Somewhat True Tale of Robin Hood. Applause, Carrie Youth Theater.
Our second new award is Outstanding Youth Ensemble, which recognizes an outstanding cast of young people in a theater education program. We have 5 ensembles we'd like to recognize, and we're really excited to be able to represent 5 different companies in this category.
The first category is Antigone, Raleigh Little Theater's Teens on Stage. Bring It On, North Carolina Theater Conservatory. Decision Height, St. Mary's School. Mary Poppins Jr., Saunders Road Musical Theater Workshop. The Somewhat True Tale of Robin Hood. Applause, Carrie Youth Theater.
And for the final category that we are presenting, Outstanding Breakout Performance, which recognizes an actor early in their career in a college, community, or professional production. So first up, we have Anna Brescia.
Annie, get your gun, Meredith College.
Brescia was a force of nature as Annie Oakley, and she graduates from Meredith this year. Colin Dunn.
Gay Car, North Raleigh Arts and Creative Theater.
Jenna Claiborne.
Cabaret, Hoof and Horn at Duke University.
From the review, Claiborne succeeds not only as a great vocalist, but as an actor with impeccable comic timing. More Jenna Claiborne, more of her everywhere, I say. Jenna Davenport.
Junie B. Jones, Raleigh Little Theater.
Davenport charmed audiences as first grader Junie B. Jones, and then this fall she showed her dramatic range in RLT's Blood at the Root. Lee Jean Jr.
Camelot, Burning Coal Theater Company.
Marley Perger McDonald.
Men on Boat, the Justice Theater Project.
Perger McDonald has been making waves since her role as Scout in Theater in the Park's To Kill a Mockingbird way back in 2013, but now that she's in high school, she proves that she definitely deserves that seat at the grown-ups table. Nicole Jimenez.
Our Town, NC State University Theater.
Ryan Vasconcello.
Cabaret, NC State University Theater.
Sienna Osborne.
Bob Marley's Three Little Birds, Raleigh Little Theater.
Osborne was only in 5th grade in this, her RLT debut. Tenley Seidel.
Cabaret, Hoof and Horn at Duke University.
Quoting from Dustin Britt's review, this is a character that has to turn it on when needed, and Seidel is the first Bowles that I've seen, yes, I am including Liza, to highlight that tragic aspect. That's all for Mom and Son for our awards. Thank you so much for listening, and even more so for reading and supporting us and giving us so much feedback. Do you have anything to say, Emery?
Yes, good night. I hope you can read our next review. Goodbye.
And it is way past Emery's bedtime, so good night, everybody.
Mom!
All right, so thanks to Rachel and Emery for the cute overload. Speaking of cute overload, we now have for you one Al Riggs. local musician and person who is in my house.
Hello,
So,
I'm in your house.
Yes. So Al Riggs is going to share some things with you.
Hey everyone, my name is Al Riggs. I'm a musician. I write a lot, and sometimes when I write, those things end up being reviews for Chatham. I've been working for Chatham for about a year now, and I've been liking it a lot. I first got into it when I would see Dustin just like go ham on a keyboard, just trying to type like 3 reviews a night, and it oddly looked very fascinating and interesting. And working for Chatham and learning how to think more critically about the art that I take in has kind of changed a lot about how I think about everything. And it's made me a smarter and better person. And I'm very thankful to be living in this house with a bunch of writing happening all at once. So anyway, I'm here to talk about sound and sound design. And our selecting, what are these? Just like the people we like, the things we like.
The ones the most outstanding in the area this year.
Right. This was rehearsed. So the folks we liked for outstanding sound design, we have Eric Alexander Collins from West Side Story, put on by North Carolina Theater. We have Kevin Wright for Cabaret, put on by North Carolina State University Theater.
I believe one of 93 productions of Cabaret this year.
There's at least 10. Todd Houseconnect for Be More Chill at the North Raleigh Arts and Creative Theater. Next up, we have outstanding instrumental performance. This is a single musician or a group of musicians in a live theater production. These are the ones that we liked. The first one is the entire band from Be More Chill with music director Catherine Anderson, put on by the North Raleigh Arts and Creative Theater. Next one is the orchestra for The Mikado, put on by Durham Savoyards with the musical director Jackson Cooper. And then we have the entire band for They Do Not Know Harlem in communion with James Baldwin with music director Eric Duncan, put on by Young, Gifted, and Broke. And lastly, we got outstanding music direction. This is just kind of everything. Conductors, directors of vocal music for a production, just like how well these things were put on. And here's the folks we liked. Carolyn Colquitt pooled at a Live V Mayhub Productions at the National Black Theater Festival. Catherine Hamner. Sorry about that, Catherine. I know you're probably watching. I apologize. Catherine Hamner for North Carolina State University's production of Cabaret. Catherine Anderson for Pippin at Raleigh Little Theater. Mark Hopper, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder for Raleigh Little Theater. And lastly, we have Ronzell Bell for Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill, put on by North Raleigh Arts and Creative Theater, not actually at Emerson's Bar and Grill, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I wanted my money back for that very fact.
I went for the jalapeno poppers.
Is that what you went for?
Yeah.
I went for a drunken meltdown.
Did you get it?
I got it in spades.
That's very good.
Yeah, I totally got it. All right. Well, thank you, Al Riggs, for being here and doing all your lovely communicating.
You're welcome. I'm going to go back on the couch and yell things.
Okay.
Behind.
Go do that. Thank you very much. Okay. So I've taken the performance categories this year, and rather than kind of shoving them all at the end, I've spread them out. So it's not like, oh, we're just waiting to the last minute to see, how many awards we can give, blah, blah. So outstanding featured performance, the Oscars would call this supporting. Also, Chatham does not split acting categories by gender, and neither should you. A.C. Donahue for White at Bulldog Ensemble Theater. Benaiah Barnes for Bob Marley's Three Little Birds at Raleigh Little Theater. I believe that's our only non-human performance this year, but we'll see. Douglas Capp for Pippin at Raleigh Little Theater. Doug's been working in the area for quite a while, and this is by far the finest work I've seen him do. Jessica Fleming for Waters Rise at the Women's Theater Festival. John Woolard in Arsenic and Old Lace at Chatham Community Players. He played, it's not Bela Lugosi, who's the other guy?
Ed Wood?
No,
Boris Karloff.
He played a Boris Karloff lookalike that was more like Boris Karloff than any fictional portrayal of Boris Karloff I've ever seen. So 10 points for that. Kristen Wingfield and Be More Chill at Interact. One of the funniest, cutest, strangest performances I saw all year, and she was just a damn delight. When she was on stage, things were just better. Lauren Bamford for A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, hitting them high notes at Raleigh Little Theater. And this one was easy to double this slide because I only had to change the last name. Lauren Knott, also for A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at Raleigh Little Theater. Shane DeLeon for Gay Card at North Raleigh Arts and Creative Theater. And Tyler Graper for Camelot at Burning Coal. So I had a Graper problem this year in that he was really, really good in Gentleman's Guide, and he was really, really good in Be More Chill. And I was split on which of those two it might be. And then I saw Camelot and went, okay, well, my decision's been made for me. The man is just phenomenal in that show. All right, so I now am going to introduce another one of my writing team, Naveed Moeed, who is going to present a few categories for you, including a special recognition award.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naveed Moeed, and I am a contributor for Chatham Life and Style. I moved to the Triangle 7 years ago and took the opportunity this year to step out of a career in IT and focus on the performance arts. 2019 has been an adventure in acting, producing, writing, and photography. My focus for Chatham Life and Style is live music and theatre, with a particular focus on productions involving the South Asian community and productions with a political message. This season, it is my honor to announce 2 awards. The first is for Outstanding Hair and Makeup Design. Elizabeth Quesada for Be More Chill at North Raleigh Arts and Creative Theatre. Pam Guidry-Vollers for The Mikado at Durham Savoyards. Rebecca Nelson for A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at Raleigh Little Theatre. The second award is for Outstanding Costume Design. Jenny Mitchell for A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at Raleigh Little Theatre. Jeremy Kloss for Bob Marley's Three Little Birds at Raleigh Little Theatre. And Karen Guidry for The Mikado at Durham Savoyards. This year, we're pleased to announce a special recognition award for outstanding commitment to social justice. The year marked the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall Riots, a landmark event in the history of queer rights worldwide. Since then, the progress of LGBTQ+ reforms, while at times difficult, has resulted in more of society embracing diversity. However, with the rise of persecution based on orientation and gender still rife in many parts of the world, there is all the more reason to mark how this journey began, and to remind ourselves, gay and straight alike, what it took to get here. On Saturday, June 22nd, at the Carolina Theatre of Durham, 4 LGBTQ+ choruses came together in a celebration of 50 years of Pride. Common Woman Chorus of Durham and the Triangle Gay Men's Chorus of Raleigh, and their special guests, the Triad Pride Men's and Women's Choruses, performed a selection of songs and Quiet No More, a choral celebration of Stonewall 50. Composed by 6 LGBTQ+ composers, this brand new work was co-commissioned by 20 Gala member choruses and performed in the same month by choruses across the country. The 8-movement piece tells the story of the Stonewall Uprising, and through the lens of this concert, we had the opportunity, through the music and the visuals, to look back at the history of the gay liberation movement and what 50 years of Pride means to us today. The message of Quiet No More is not that the struggle is over. There is no mission accomplished. We celebrate who we are and how far we have come, and we must be a beacon for justice and continue to fight for each other. In doing so, Common Woman's Chorus, the Triangle Gay Men's Chorus, and the Triad Pride Men's and Women's Choruses excelled in delivering the message. Months of painstaking rehearsal clearly bore fruit as these choruses sang their hearts and souls out. It was clear from the passion of the delivery that this concert meant something personal to each and every singer. We strongly applaud these choruses and are proud to award them the award for outstanding commitment to social justice. Season's greetings from me to one and all, and here's wishing you a celebration-filled 2020.
All right. Thanks, Naveed, for having just the best voice in the world. I'm just like filled with joy listening to this man talk. Okay. So moving onward. There we go. Okay. Next up, we have dance performance. This is a new category that I added this year. I finally spent a lot of the summer covering the American Dance Festival and going to a lot of Carolina ballet, a lot of modern dance. So it all kind of started to get all jumbled together. And I said, I mean, in the past, I've given performance awards to people in dance, but I felt like some of the work this year warranted its own recognition. So first is Dominic Brown for Merce Cunningham's How to Pass, Kick, Fall, and Run, which was staged at the closing night at the American Dance Festival with a performance by the students of the summer, and he was one of them. The same night, we enjoyed Emily Hallinen's work in Paul Taylor's Esplanade, also put on by the American Dance Festival. And then particularly strong work from Yevgeny Shlapko in Frankenstein at the Carolina Ballet. On the subject of dance, let's look at some of the best choreography that we saw this year. That may be in ballet, that may be in musical theater. First, Shonda Branch and Aya Wallace for Bob Marley's Three Little Birds at Raleigh Little Theater. Jerry McIntyre for the Scottsboro Boys at Theater Raleigh. Zalman Raphael for his brand new Frankenstein at Carolina Ballet. All right, so I'm going to introduce you to another one of our writers, Cecilia, who is going to present some of the design awards for you.
Hey everyone, it's Cecilia Lancia, your local food and farms writer for Chatham Life and Style. Glad to be with you and glad to announce the following theater design categories with you all tonight. So first category is Outstanding Props Design. We have Christina White in Sleeping Beauty with Carolina Youth Ballet. We have Stuart Rose in Around the World in 80 Days with Theater Raleigh. We have Tim Domack in I Am My Own Wife with Theater Raleigh. Our second category is for Outstanding Lighting Design. We have Chrissy Munich in Illumination with Snap Pea Underground Dinner Experience. Fun fact, Snap Pea Catering has pop-up events through the year featuring dining experiences in unique locations. Their Illumination dinner was served in the current art space, along with the tutorial of the functions of theater lighting with corresponding dishes. We also have Reja Bejat in Native Sun at Playmakers Repertory Company, and Stephen Dupour in Bring It On with North Carolina Theater Conservatory. Lastly, for the Outstanding Scenic Design category, we have Dennis R. Burfield in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder with Raleigh Little Theater, and Jeff A.R. Jones in Frankenstein with Carolina Ballet, and also Josh Smith in Junk with Theater Raleigh. Thank you so much for joining me with Chatham Life and Style tonight. Here's to hoping you all have a beautiful holiday season and the happiest new year.
All right, thanks, Cecilia. Now we're going to move on to Outstanding Ensemble Performance. This includes the entirety of the company appearing on stage in any production. Sometimes that's 2 or 3 people, sometimes it's 75 people. This is why I don't stage manage much anymore, because I can't deal with 75 people. So here are the Outstanding Ensemble Performances of the year. The cast of Be More Chill at North Raleigh Arts and Creative Theater. The cast of The Container, Burning Coal Theater Company. The cast of A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at Raleigh Little Theater. The cast of Infinite Possibilities at Ward Theater Company. The cast of The Mikado at Durham Savoyards. The cast of Pooled, a gospel musical drama staged by Livy Mayhob Productions at the National Black Theater Festival. The Scottsboro Boys, Theater Raleigh. The cast of The Taming. There were but 3 actors, but a myriad of characters. Justice Theater Project. West Side Story at North Carolina Theater. And last but certainly not least, The Women of the Wolves at Sonoras Road Repertory. All right, so I have another guest who would like to present some awards for you. This is Edim. She started writing with us this year, and I'm gonna hand it over to her.
Hi there, I'm Edim Akpan, a writer and entertainer from North Carolina. I cover theater for Chatham Life and Style. Tonight, I have the pleasure of announcing the categories of Outstanding Stage Management and Outstanding Direction. Outstanding Stage Management recognizes excellence in the organization of the entire cast, preparation of the performance space, and calling of all light, sound, music, effects, and set cues during a performance. Recognition for Outstanding Stage Management goes to Elaine Petrone for Pippin at Raleigh Little Theater, Julia Tyson for Frankenstein at Carolina Ballet, and Scott Winston Ray for A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at Raleigh Little Theater. The next category is Outstanding Direction. Direction determines the entire artistic concept of a production, whether original or reimagined, guides actors and designers, and orchestrates every action happening on the stage. Recognition for outstanding direction goes to Derek Ivey for The Mikado at Durham Savoy Arts, Eric Woodall for West Side Story at North Carolina Theater, Jamaica Holloway Burrell for White at Bulldog Ensemble Theater, Michelle Murray Wells with movement direction by Heather J. Strickland for The Wolves at Sunrise Road Repertory, and Patrick Torres for A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at Raleigh Little Theater. Thank you to everyone for your spectacular contributions to the arts in the Triangle. Have a great night.
All right, thanks, Adam. Now I get to do special recognition for outstanding contribution to the arts.
Real quick, I just want to say that I'm getting into an argument with my mom about the upcoming movie based on cats, and I said that it looked like a dog shit nightmare, and she called me an optimist, not
Al Riggs, you are officially fired.
good.
All right, so special recognition for outstanding contribution to the arts. This year, it was not difficult to figure out who this was going to be. I don't think there will be anyone to disagree with me. Of course, we have simply got to talk about Mr. Charles Phaneuf. So Charles has been executive director of Raleigh Little Theater for over 7 years and is going to be moving on to a new office over at the United Arts Council of Raleigh and Wake County, where he's going to serve as president. In his time at RLT, the company's seen an increase in attendance, a higher budget, a summer film festival, collaborating with the artistic director, Patrick Torres. Charles has focused tremendous energy and resources to expanding arts accessibility with sensory-friendly performances and numerous resources for individuals with disabilities. They actually received a special award from us last year, the company did, for contributions to accessibility. At RLT, over the last few seasons, we've seen a greater diversity in authors, directors, designers, actors that have been chosen for productions. And this is all great, but Charles is a lot more than his RLT legacy. He's an accomplished saxophonist and music aficionado. He can always be found at gigs, big and small, all over town. I've actually run into him downstairs at Ruby Deluxe in Raleigh, checking out the work of new queer musicians. You'll see him at Hopscotch and Groove in the Garden. He's not just a fan of his theater, but of all theater. I constantly run into him at Playmakers on opening night or performances by companies all over town. He is truly a cheerleader and a champion for the arts, even if he doesn't have a dog in the fight. We're very lucky that Charles is not going far because his encouragement of musicians, actors, writers, designers, and emerging producers is unparalleled. Charles is an arms wide open kind of guy, and we can only assume that this new position will afford his arms a broader reach. So congratulations to Charles on your tenure at RLT, your new position, and thank you for all that you've done for us. Okay, so let's move to outstanding leading performance. We're getting to the real stuff here now, kids. All right, so the 10 most outstanding leading performances this year, in no particular order: Arlie Kidd in Disney's The Little Mermaid, The Town Players of Garner; Brian Westbrook, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder at Raleigh Little Theater;
Surprising no one.
Connie McCoy for Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill at North Raleigh Arts and Creative Theater; Fergie L. Philippe in Ragtime at Playmakers Repertory Company; Jesse Farmer in Pippin at Raleigh Little Theater. This was almost a breakout performance award, but he broke out so hard that we had to bump him up. Julia Gibson in How I Learned to Drive at Playmakers Repertory Company. Monet Noel Marshall, this is one of my favorite performances of the year, in White at Bulldog Ensemble Theater. Nicholas Tycho Reed in Much Ado at the Women's Theater Festival. And who is Petruchio without his Catherine? Rebecca Ashley Jones, also in Much Ado at the Women's Theater Festival. Jones also adapted the play and co-directed. And Tristan Andre Parks for his one-man work in They Do Not Know Harlem in communion with James Baldwin, produced with Young, Gifted, and Broke. If you want to see extraordinary dance theater, extraordinary solo performance, this is something that I hope you were able to catch. I'm hoping and assuming it will continue to have further life beyond, but this is a piece of theater that I hope you were able to get your eyes on. All right, y'all, it's time for the thing. You ready for the thing?
Yep.
Okay, let's do the thing.
Kurt Russell, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Outstanding theatrical production of 2019 in the Triangle. Go to Be More Chill at North Raleigh Arts and Creative Theater. Frankenstein, not Frankenstein,
I had to read that a little bit.
at Carolina Ballet. I think this is the first time a ballet has cracked this top 10. Guide to Love and Murder, surprising no one, at Raleigh Little Theater. Infinite Possibilities at Ward Theater Company. This is a production that was developed and devised by Wendy Ward's acting students together under her guidance, and they continue to do insanely intense and imaginative work.
You're absolutely getting sued for using the Spotify logo.
I didn't do it, they did it.
I mean, it just looks so much like it.
The Mikado from Durham Savoyards. This production caught my attention because Derek Ivey essentially fixed the yellow face problem by saying, what if this isn't set in Japan? What if this is at a fashion show that highlights Japanese modern couture, and we set it there? And it worked. Much Ado, a Shakespeare play adapted by Rebecca A. Jones, produced by the Women's Theater Company Festival, and staged at Burning Coal Theater this summer. The Scottsboro Boys at Theater Raleigh. West Side Story over at North Carolina Theater. A big old show, a big old honkin' musical.
Really big shoe.
A really big shoe. And finally, and by no means least importance, oh no, there's two more.
Oh my God.
White at Bulldog Ensemble Theater. Definitely one of
That
my.
was really great.
That was
I loved that one.
That was a good show. That was one of my favorite shows of the year.
Fantastic script.
And last but definitely not least, I mean it this time, is the Wolves at Sonoris Repertory. Sonoris is having a little shift right now. They're no longer going to be in the same physical space, but hopefully they'll be in the same headspace and can continue to do amazing work. This was a production designed, directed, written, and starring incredibly strong, terrifyingly strong women. And it was some of the best work I saw this year. So here's just the list, if one were to take a screenshot per se, or, to the list.
Do it now.
Of the, if you want to take a screenshot, you should do that now.
Do that right now.
These are the outstanding productions of 2019. Of course, there were many shows that were quite good, but we had to narrow it down to the top 10. So some of the Chatham Life and Style team that you did not get to meet tonight, I did want you to know who they are. Our publisher's name is Shannon Clark. Our music contributor is Philip Guadagno. One of our theater contributors is Michelle Oko. Another theater contributor is Jermona Sharp, who some of you may have worked with. Ivana Vasquez writes about theater and dance. And Lauren Lisinski came on this year as a guest writer to write a couple of new pieces for us. So we appreciate her jumping on board. So that's it for the show. Everyone at chathamlifeandstyle.com would like to wish you a very happy new year and happiness of all the things that you're going to do between now and then. Thanks for continuing to read us. The 5,000 clicks a month is not bad for a tiny little startup like this with no advertising. So we're appreciative to our readership. And please continue to make wonderful art that is engaging and controversial. Please continue to do that. All right, so good night to everyone. This will be posted very shortly on Facebook so that it can be shared or rewatched if you are so inclined. Otherwise, this is Dustin K. Britt and the team of Chatham Life and Style signing off for tonight, and have a great year.
Bye.